She ripped my medical device off in public to prove I was faking. The doctor who watched her do it had other ideas. I was diagnosed with a chronic autonomic disorder at 23 after 4 years of being told I was anxious, deconditioned, or simply not drinking enough water. The diagnosis meant I finally understood why my heart rate launched to alarming numbers the moment I stood upright. It meant a treatment protocol and a medical team who believed me. It also meant I wore a continuous cardiac monitor on my chest and, on difficult days, used a cane for stability. My Aunt Bernadette had decided I was performing. She was not subtle about it. She invoked the phrase attention-seeking the way other people use punctuation, frequently and without much consideration, for what it was actually doing. She had formed her theory after watching a documentary once about factitious disorder and decided it applied to her niece. I managed Bernadette the way you manage persistent weather. I dressed for it. I did not put myself in positions where she had an audience and I had a medical device she could point to. The circumstances that undid that strategy were my cousin Felicity's baby shower. Felicity is one of the genuinely good ones, and I refused to let Bernadette shrink my world to the point where I missed things that mattered. I arrived early to find a seat I could access without too much standing, the kind of logistical calculus that becomes second nature after enough years. I did not initially register the quiet woman in her 60s sitting 2 tables away as significant. Bernadette arrived 40 minutes in, scanned the room, located me, and crossed the space with the energy of someone who had been rehearsing. She delivered a short speech to the surrounding tables about how my monitor had been obtained through exaggerated symptoms and emotional manipulation, that my cane was theatrical, and that the kindest thing anyone could do was stop enabling me. Then she reached down and pulled the monitor's adhesive lead from my chest, enough to trigger the device's dislodgement alert, which emitted a sound. She held the lead up as though it were evidence of something. The room went very quiet. The woman 2 tables away set down her glass and stood up. She introduced herself by name and title: cardiologist, senior position in the electrophysiology department at her hospital. She said she had been watching since Bernadette began her speech. She said she was familiar with the monitoring device, having prescribed the same model to her own patients. She said that interfering with a prescribed medical device constituted, depending on jurisdiction, any number of things Bernadette might want to discuss with someone holding a law degree. Then she looked at me and asked with complete professional calm whether I was all right and whether the device needed checking. Bernadette was still holding the adhesive lead. I said I thought the device should probably be looked at, yes. The cardiologist spent the next several minutes resecuring the contact and checking the readings via the companion application on her phone. She spoke to me the way doctors speak when treating a patient in front of an audience they are completely unintimidated by. She used the name of my condition without hedging. Bernadette left before the gift opening. She apparently attempted to reframe the incident as a misunderstanding on her way out. Nobody present agreed with her framing. In the weeks following, several family members who had maintained careful neutrality on the question of whether I was actually ill contacted me, unprompted, to acknowledge they had been wrong to stay neutral. Bernadette sent a message structured as an apology that read more accurately as a request that I not pursue the legal avenues the cardiologist had mentioned. I have not responded. Felicity's daughter is 4 months old. I was there the afternoon she came home from the hospital. I sat in the good chair by the window and held her for a long time, and my heart did what it does, and I managed it the way I always manage it. She fell asleep in my arms in about 11 minutes. Some things just are.